Welcome to Saber Talk. Welcome to the Saber Show. I'm SpaceWindu. We're going to talk tonight about custom lightsabers. I got a few guests coming in with their custom lightsabers. We're going to talk to them. Let's see. I think Bill's trying to come in a couple different ways. Let's bring in Bill.
I need him.
I was trying to
get Bill.
My computer, for some reason, my devices aren't connected. So I don't know what the problem is.
Let's see, I think we got Harris coming in here too. He's setting up. Let's see if anyone's in the chat. Melissa's World. What's going on, Melissa? Hope everything's all right today. Melissa got a flu shot today. Hope everything is going well with Melissa. Let's see. We have a guest here. We have a guest in the back room.
I'm sensing a powerful mind.
Harris!
I'm sensing a powerful mind.
Harris, you walking around looking for your earbuds?
My phone clip. I'm not. My phone.
Will you look for that, Bill? You had a book sent to my house. I got it today.
Nice.
I got the Ahsoka book.
Sweet.
Look how much that looks like.
Rosario?
Yeah, I think so. Like maybe a little more cat-like.
I think she was spot on, man. Like I don't know. A lot of people were saying they kind of whitewashed her or they wanted Ashley, but Ashley's a voice actor. I mean, you know, it's not like I don't know. I don't think she would do a bad job, but I just think people have this attachment to her because they're so familiar with her voice from being Clone Wars, Rebels. You know, they probably could have did a voiceover if they wanted to, like they did with Darth Vader, and put her in as you know, like her voice over top of Rosario's. But I think Rosario was awesome. I don't know. That's my opinion.
I thought it was great. I'm going to review this book next. I'm about 3/4 of the way through this one, Choices of One by Timothy Zahn.
Nice.
I'll do a discussion about this. So if anyone wants to get on board and kind of read this with me, it took me like all summer to get to, like I've been reading this like over the summer. So it's taken a while, but I hope to finish this soon. It was really, really good. And I got caught up with some work. So that's why it slowed me down and stuff like that. But then I'll read the Ahsoka book. We can do a talk about that, and I know that's like a lot of people's favorite character, including Jedi Hash here. He loves Ahsoka.
I do love Ahsoka.
I gotta go.
I got a white bladed lightsaber right here.
Nice. Is that the TriStar blade?
This is an old style string blade. It's my arc blade, so it goes like up and back.
And it usually doesn't have TriStars laying around. He usually sells them as he makes them.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
So, are you doing the contest this Saturday? Is that what the
this Saturday is kind of the lead up to the contest. So we're having a contest for anybody that doesn't know. You could win your own TriStar. Second prize is a Photon green dual star. Third prize is Civilized Saber's pixel plugs. And what you can do to enter is you go to Civilized Saber's YouTube, watch the video that Gabe made about the contest, and just comment there. Subscribe to Civilized Sabers on YouTube, and then you don't have to be there when we actually draw the names the next Saturday. You just have to enter, and then we'll find you through YouTube. So you know what? I will put that link. I'll get that link here.
Just trying to. So for some reason it wouldn't let me get on my computer. So now I'm on my iPhone, and it's kind of sucks because I wanted to, watch it on the big screen because I have everything hooked up HDMI. I might try to use my other computer, saying that I got some other browser open. So I might leave and then come back. But
yeah, I see something's like trying to get through, but it says not connected.
Yeah, let me try one more thing and I'll be right back.
Okay.
What's
Yo,
up,
Harris,
Barrett?
what's
What's
going
up, buddy?
on?
How are you, man?
Pretty good, pretty good. How's it feel to be on a Saber Talk?
Always the highlight of my week, man. Yeah, boy.
You know, I have such a delay. Something's going on here. Maybe I should quit some stuff. I have so many things open.
Too much going on at the same time.
Yeah, it's weird. What internet am I connecting? It should be good.
Will
What's
Gabe
going
be
on?
coming and hanging out
All
with us
right, maybe
tonight?
if I close down a couple things, it'll get better. Yeah, you know, Gabe has been out all day with his family, so he said if when he gets back, he's going to log in, even if it's for like 10 or 15 minutes.
Nice. Okay.
We'll see him at some point.
Cool.
So, what do you got to tell me, Saber related? I know you got a bunch of stuff.
Well, yeah, I've been working on the Martin Bear. Have it here with me. Here she is. It's so freaking heavy. It's not even funny. The thing weighs. It feels like it weighs like 10 pounds. Like to me, I can sit on the couch and work out with it. It's heavy. It's really heavy. I don't know if you've ever held one, but it's heavy. You want to see it come apart? That's the best part of it.
Yeah,
it comes apart. So we flip our little lever here. I'm trying to do this on my iPhone, and
it looks good.
Pull that
this
apart.
Is set up to be like a New Hope version.
Yeah, I went with the glass eye look. The glass eye actually holds in the whole chassis. You unscrew the glass eye. You back it up a little bit so you can kind of see. You unscrew that, and that holds the whole bad boy together. And it is shine through. So when it lights up, I don't have any electronics in it yet. I'm still prepping it for the electronics, but the shine through, and then you pull that bad boy out.
Wow.
Let's take a look at that. Look at that, man. Isn't that pretty?
So this is the farthest along we've ever seen it, right?
Pretty much. Well, I have the whole chassis is put together now at this point.
Wow. Oh, wow. Look at those layers.
The layers in it are beautiful. It's got a crystal here. And then up here is, they call it the plasma gate. It just lights up. I don't want to lose that. That's the blade plug. It's a neopixel blade plug featuring a Civilized Saber's chip blade plug. And in here, there's two steel covers here. This is one, and this is the other. And they're held in with pins. I'm not going to take it apart. But inside here is a single 18650, 3500 milliamp night core, the night core batteries that we like to use, Ant. And it took me about 2 months of preparation and about 2 days, about 48 hours worth of work of grinding the inside of this steel plate here to allow enough room for that battery to fit in there. And that was a major accomplishment last night. I think I texted you and Gabe. I was so happy. I blew through almost a dozen Dremel wheels. This thing is solid steel. That's why it's so heavy. And I blew through about a dozen Dremel wheels, little drum wheels, sanding wheels.
Just to get the battery to
just to get the battery to fit. Yeah. This thing, let me tell you something I'm learning about this Saber. This is the first time I've ever undertaken a Saber of this this extreme condition of workmanship. Basically, imagine a puzzle. Imagine getting a puzzle. If you do puzzles, it's flat and all the pieces are pre-cut and everything fits together, right? But imagine they give you a puzzle that you have to reshape every piece. It's a 1,000-piece puzzle, but before you can put it together, you have to reshape every piece. so that it connects to the next piece. But it also connects with 3 other pieces around the outside of it. So that piece has to be reshaped so that it fits every other little aspect of wherever it fits into and touches. That's what it's like building a Martin Bear Saber. There are about, I'm going to say about 300 individual pieces. If I can give you an idea, like you see this brass piece right here? That's one little piece, and that's held in with a little mini set screw. And that piece has to be sanded and filed for about an hour and a half before you can get it to fit into that channel. Then once you get it to fit into the channel, you got to now make sure that it will fit into the Saber body as you put it in. I'm trying to do this on my phone.
And you're doing this with a vintage Graflex?
Yeah, this is a vintage
right
Graflex. It's kind of a long story. I lost this Graflex. It was stolen from me.
Oh, this is so do you have 2 vintage Graflex?
No, this is the only vintage that I have. And it was stolen from me by my ex-wife. And I got it back in part of the divorce settlement. I gave up a lot to get it back, but I did get it back. This is my vintage Graflex. I've had this about 20 years. And she took it. She wanted to sell it on me, but I got it back. So that glass eye holds that whole section in. Now that that's in, now you can slide the blade plug in. And then you put the bottom on. And I'm telling you, this thing weighs feels like it's about 10 pounds, probably about 2 pounds total. It's about 4 times the weight of any Saber I've ever built in my entire life. Bill's back.
I just saw one on eBay
What's up,
selling for $5,000. What's up, man? Miss you guys.
Like a completed Martin Bear?
Yeah, they had the completed. I don't know if it was an actual vintage.
I'm losing audio, guys.
Can you hear me?
I could hear you fine, Bill. I think something happened there.
Yeah, there you go. Now I'm hearing it.
Okay. No, I don't know if it was an actual vintage flash gun, but it was the actual full Martin Bear chassis setup with 2 crystals and all the blinkies. It actually
only has one crystal in the center, and then above it is what they call a power gate. It's actually just a clear piece of acrylic tubing. And you can fill it with some greeblies if you want.
Okay, because usually I thought a lot of them had 2. But
there may be some with 2. I'm not sure. There may be some.
Well, this was going for $5,000, and it had the whole Plector pixel, or neopixel, and the I think it was running the CFX, if I'm not mistaken.
I guess they're all 7/8, right, Harris? They're all 7/8 blade.
Yeah,
they're all 7/8 blades. What I'm learning about Martin Bear, what he likes to do, he says right on his website, he will not take a commission. What he does is he builds a hilt to his own specifications. Some of them have a spinning plasma gate, some don't.
Right.
Some might have 2 crystals, some might have 1 crystal, some might be neopixel, some might be in-hill LED. And then once he builds it, he puts it up for sale, and he sells that one hilt. Right now, I believe if you go to his website, I think I saw one this week that he's selling up there. It's going for close to I'm going to say about $4,800.
Yeah,
if I'm not
it was
mistaken.
$5,000 on eBay, and I think that was the same one.
Yeah.
I've always seen Master Yoda's lightsabers and Ro lightsabers in those price ranges. Like, as far as you guys know who Ro Lightsaber is, he's over, and I believe he's in like Austria, or I know he's over in. He used to be a photographer, and he used to be like this big, well-known photographer, like Vogue and different magazines. And then he was a Star Wars lover, and then he started to go into building lightsabers as a hobby. So I've seen some of his work, and it's amazing. I mean, it's like right up there with Martin Bear, with you guys. I mean, it's just like
he's in the
Master Yoda sets the bar for
everything. In the FX Sabers forum, there's like a mining, or there's a mining guild, but there's a mining colony, and that's what I'm in, and he's also part of that too.
Who is Ro?
Ro, yeah, RO, and Master Yoda runs the FX Sabers website, so he's like at the top of the food chain there with the
Well, you guys are right there, like
conversions and
right. You're like second tier, in my opinion, because of the work you guys done.
Thank you.
Like the only thing I've ever seen, anything close to Master Yoda stuff is your stuff. But then I've seen some really new, interesting stuff that I always thought this guy Gary Morris was this myth about the lightsaber community. Do you know who Gary Morris is?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's on FX Sabers forum as well for many, many years.
Okay.
Okay. So he was at Outer Rim. I think his company's called Outer Rim Sabers.
Oh, okay.
I believe. And he does a lot of machining where it's like right now he just did
like
a run.
The inside comes out.
Correct. And
Yeah.
he does a lot of internal metal chassis that are all pretty much they break down now. So they're using a lot of the the PCB connectors, and you can break down his Saber into like 4, 5, 6 parts depending on the build. He just did a run. They were like $1,000 for it, and the had the internal metal chassis and it had a full.
That's interesting that
where,
you could maybe take the different parts and put them different, almost like at the Disney park.
Well, it's
Kinda
funny that you mentioned that. So I'm wearing my Luke Skywalker Jedi costume tonight because of So I wanted to kind of, I don't know if you can see the whole thing. I'm gonna stand up, but I got the whole shebang. I just gotta put the glove on, a glove, and that was gonna be like one of the things where he came in and it was just like you couldn't see him. He was just totally like this dark shroud. You know who it was, and I've been working on this costume for a while. So, but this finally, I finally got my my Luke Grandmaster Luke Skywalker, with the real belt buckle and everything, and kind of hooked it up. So
Nice.
this is
Now,
kind of my first.
did that come from Disney, Bill? That came from Disney?
No,
Park?
it actually, you know what? It's a hodgepodge of a couple things. So
Okay.
I actually piecemealed it together where, I bought the belt on Etsy. So the belt buckle was like its own thing, right? So then I just got a normal black leather belt that you can put any kind of belt buckle on, the big cowboy belts so you can put big buckles on. And then this is just a regular, clip that I can use for any D-rings. I got this leather pouch on Etsy. It's not like 100% totally accurate, but then the actual costume itself was bought on Amazon. I believe it was Gold Stitch. It was one of those, like, you get everything and, the whole costume for like $35, $40. And, it's not bad. Like, I actually had to augment it a little bit. Like, maybe, I had to put some hooks on the where the tabards come in so they don't slide around. But just instead of, wearing the, paying $500 for one of the costumes with the white thing that comes out from this other jacket, I just am wearing like a mock turtleneck, and I got the cape on like eBay for like maybe it was like $20 maybe. And I put, instead of like using a string, I got one of these little doodads that kind of just unhook, like kind of a Dooku thing, kind of like so. So I got that together. So from watching that episode, maybe want to go get a, one of the Disney Sabers just to compare. I know it's not your typical like, want to get like the V2. People love the V2s. People love the Heroes and all that stuff. And at the time, since I'm on a limited budget and whatnot, and they go for $130, and they're not bad. I mean, they come in a nice display box.
I got to
This
stop
is the
you.
same thing you would get at the
How did you
Disney
get
park
it,
or
Bill?
something.
Did
It's
you-
the only you can only get these at Disney parks.
Yeah, you didn't go to Disney,
originally.
did you?
What's that?
You didn't go to Disney to get it.
I didn't
did
go
you?
to Disney, no, because they closed down California for
Right.
COVID.
How did you get it?
Well, I bought it on eBay, and they were
Okay.
selling it at the Disney shop. Some of the lightsabers, like I had seen, they started putting a lot of stuff. But as soon as they put their stuff that you could only get at Doc Ondor's on the Disney Store website, it went like hotcakes.
Okay.
So everything got picked through. So
Okay.
right after I saw, the last Mandalorian episode, I had to go out and I had to get because I still haven't gotten a nice Luke hilt.
That's nice,
But
dude. That looks good.
Yeah, take it out of the box. Let me see
Well,
it.
it retails for 130 at the Disney, you know, at Disney World, Disneyland, yada yada yada. The only thing that's a little off, it doesn't blinky, and the blinkies are wrong. Like this should be green up here and this should be red. But it's pretty sturdy. It's aluminum. It's got a nice, you know, grenade section. It's not like an Ultra Saber. It doesn't look like you know, it's not like gigantic, and it actually has a really nice D ring. You know, and it comes with 2 emitters. So
Is it a round D ring or is it a tri ring?
It's actually a tri ring.
Tri ring. Okay, nice.
Like the normal,
yeah.
You know, what they would use for like a normal, you know, V1, V2, or Hero V3.
Now, that you can put a blade in that, right?
Well, yeah, and that's what I was going to show you next.
Yeah, I want to see that. Okay, cool.
So, all right, so I mean, for like I said, for $130 just for the hilt. It comes with a nice display case. Every display case comes with a different color, you know, insignia. Tells you if it's dark side, light side. You know, has like a little satin type of like area where, you know, when you display your case, if you wanted to, it's nice. It's really not that bad. I'm still waiting. I did buy some Disney Jedi robes, so it's the light side robes.
Now, if I can ask you, you paid a $130 for it? Or did you pay a premium?
I actually paid $180 for it.
Okay, so you paid about $50 extra.
Yeah, because you figure
it's
at the
understandable.
Time, you know, it was hard to get, and then it was in high demand right after the Mando hit.
Sure.
So as soon as that last episode, I've just seen like, you know, the Facebooks and all the
right
sites
before Christmas too. So
people were selling like left and right, trying to get rid of like their prodigal sons or heroes, anything that was Luke related, like. You know, it was like price gouged. You know, people were like, you know, something that you normally pay $500 for. They wanted like $1,000 or $1,200 for, you know, in-hilt RGB with like an Anna Biscotti for something like old electronics. You know what I mean? So, you know, people were really
they were hungry,
jumping on the bandwagon.
Stuff. Yeah.
So, but what's cool about this though, the only thing I do and I don't like about it here, I'll give you a real quick look at it on the belt. Because it really, you know, as a prop piece, it's pretty accurate. Like it doesn't look bad. It's like
I think it looks good in your hands. Yeah.
I want to tell you, I also bought the Disney stuff.
I mean, when you look at it though,
the holocrons.
When you look at it with the full costume, I mean, it's pretty accurate. It's nice. I mean, it's like something, you know, it's not like the old master replicas where. You know, they were gigantic and they looked really awkward because of the tubing. But the problem is you can't get a Disney lightsaber lightsaber in there as far as a string blade for the size of, you know, where it is. So what they do is, which is really interesting, they give you 2 emitters. So this is your static emitter for your show, right? And then if you look here, they use a PCB.
Oh.
So they're getting a little crafty, you know, because it's got the you know how a lot of the different versions come with the prop where it's you know, there's no holes, and then they also have a different one with holes, and then, you know, it just takes like 3 AAA, I believe. And then it comes with the other emitter. So the other emitter is this, you know, kind of fat one that looks like the Master Replica / Hasbro Black Series.
Got a fat neck.
But still, I mean, if you look, it's got the pins. There's the 3-pin, you know, just like they do for any of the string blade neopixel setup. It's only 3 pins. It's not the, like, you know, I've seen them as big as 12 pins. I don't know if that makes a difference. I mean, you guys
just depends how many electronics are up at that part of the saber. You know, how many pins you would need. They're just it appears they're just connecting their lights right there. So it's
but I just thought that was interesting because I really wanted to, you know, I just knew I would never get the Galaxy's Edge anytime soon. That's been one of my like bucket list things just to go. even though, you know, I know it's a tourist thing and all blah, blah, blah. And
I'm
people
dying
were,
to
you
go
know,
too, Bill.
but it's just one of those dreams. Like I wanted to go, I wanted to check it out. I wanted to see Doc Ondors. I wanted to go and drink the blue milk and get the lightsaber, you know, I mean, just for the experience, because I mean, I wanted to take my whole family, you know, since I got young kids and my wife, you know, she tolerates Star Wars. I mean, she likes it. She's more of a Lord of the Rings trilogy person, but you know, it's all good. I mean, you know, hey, I'm not going to split hairs. So she doesn't. So it's pretty cool. You know, it's threaded.
I would have to say that's pretty awesome. I like the way that works.
Now,
So
can I ask Bill? I got a question for you.
Good.
That's not something that you would duel with. That's more just for show, right? That's
Yeah, I mean, it's just like any. I put it this way: like I would never duel with a string blade or even a heavy grade pixel blade, because you guys seen me duel at, you know, when we were at FanFest.
Sure.
I mean, I've seen people, you know, like even the heavy grade regular polycarbonate blades in Hell. I mean, they take a beating, and you know, you
Not
really
the way you guys hit them way
well, that's what
too
I'm saying.
far.
Like, you figure a $20 blade compared to a $100+ blade, depending on even if it's a heavy grade. Like I have a couple of different blades here, and even with that heavy grade, I have a heavy grade LGT neopixel blade that I wouldn't duel with either, because of the fact that it's just one of those things that I don't want to spend $100 and some to replace, because, you know, it's just one of those things where I know how hard I hit because I've been in martial arts, you know, for a long time. And, you know, just the impact of dueling with any kind of, you know, blade or sticks. I used to use wooden bokens, which were basically, you know, like really, really like heavy piece of like carved wood that looks like a samurai sword. And I mean, those would splinter and break if you would hit it hard enough. So, but to get back to this, it's even got a pseudo blade plug that's in here to keep the electronics kind of, I guess, from getting, you know, messed up. So,
hey, Bill, before you start it, let me just say hi to a couple people here. Melissa's World is here. She says it's Saber time. It is
Saber time, Melissa. I saw some of her sabers. They were awesome.
She recently got a new saber.
That's awesome.
Got my saber out. That's good. Ken of the Hill is here. Welcome, my friend. Thanks for being here, everybody. We really appreciate you guys. Goat Ninja is here. He's talking about the Timothy Zahn book I held up at the beginning of the show. Jake the Snake is here. What's going on? Maybe he means he commented maybe at the contest. Go over to Civilized Sabers and comment on that video. And now I will come up with the link in just a minute. Over on Twitch, Luke Uchia is here. What's going on? Let's see. Melissa's World says, sorry, still a Padawan. Not sure when knighthood will be, but I'm excited. Definitely. No need to rush things. Melissa.
I heard she was getting a neopixel blade or neopixel setup. Did you get that?
I think she's got one neopixel and one RGB setup. Yeah,
nice.
She's got two sabers now. Rich Sanchillo says, what's up, Space? What's going on, Rich? Good of you to be here. Thank you so much.
Hello, everybody. We're glad to.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
Welcome to Saber Talk. I was talking to Bill on the phone the other day, and we decided to do a show because he's got some sabers he wanted to show us, and we haven't done Saber Talk in a while. I bet when it comes to saber training, Kanan would push me. My charity saber, I named the blind Padawan.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Very cool. You know, that's what I love about this community. I mean, it's not just, you know, about lightsabers, and that's what I've learned through TSL, like the Saber Legion. You know, it's really about building relationships, and that's what I've done through lightsabers. You know, and it's not only just one aspect of it. You know, like through TSL, it's the combat aspect of it. But then through, you know, interactions, you know, I got to meet sabersmiths like you two guys who are my brothers. You became my brothers instantly. Like we just had this. I think we just had this kindred connection. You know, when we first met at FanFest, and And Harris and I met with Dave, and then when they were just doing the Philadelphia
Dave-
area Saber meetup, we were just
Dave Bowden
we just
texted
like
me.
lightsabers. Some do choreography. Some people just like to do cosplay. Some people like to build sabers. Some people like to break sabers. That's probably where I'm more into it. I'm more into the breaking the sabers with the TSL. But I've always loved cosplay. I've always loved the just the whole aesthetics of it. And so it really is. It's a beautiful community to see people come together, for the love of one thing, which is Star Wars and lightsabers, and then to go and do something for Melissa. Like, these guys dedicated, and donated their time, their experience and know-how, their pieces, because we know lightsabers aren't expensive. This is not a cheap hobby. And it's one of those things where you're accepted whether you have a $20 Hasbro electronic saber or you have a $2,000 custom or a $10,000 Master Yoda Graflex like Space over here or somebody. Just the fact that all people are accepted
or nothing at all.
You're right, or nothing at all. When I was a kid, we had a broomstick. I would take a broomstick just like the.
That's what I
remember
would.
The Star Wars kid. I
found a paint
who
canvas
hasn't done
green
that?
and I painted it green. I was happy.
Who hasn't done it? Who didn't take like a stick from the woods or a stick from anything and just swing around and make the whooshing sounds and pretend you're Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader if you're a Sith or something, and just and you get and pretending you're doing the Force push and all those things. That's the beauty of what I think Star Wars has encapsulated, because a lot of times they're so people always on the forums are saying, oh, Star Wars fans are the worst fans ever. They're so they're so Karens, they're so critical of everything. They can't please them. You can't nobody can get along or agree on anything. But I think we can. I think we can, because if you love Star Wars, you love lightsabers. And
Hey, Bill.
Yo, sir.
Dave Bowden texts me almost every day, every other day we talk.
Awesome. I miss him. It's one of those people that.
Well, we haven't been able to get together due to COVID.
No. Well, I've been wanting to come over. Remember, we were going to get together, get some Chinese, and watch the despecialized edition. I was talking to Space the other day about it. When he got back from his little road trip, and we were discussing about how we had planned that a year ago and been wanting to get together and do it.
Yeah,
so
COVID's been tough on us all. I
know.
mean, it's how long's it been since I've been to you? 2 months, 3 months?
Got to be a couple of months.
And that's a long span for us not to get together and build.
Yeah, I think you told me October was the last time you were down his house.
Something like that.
So,
yeah.
And I haven't seen you guys.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't seen at least Harris.
It's been about a year.
Yeah, and at least maybe a year and a half was the last time when you had your heart thing that Anthony and I came up and had lunch with you.
That's
at
right.
the buffet.
That's right.
We all met the three of us for lunch.
Yep.
I went to the Chinese buffet. I don't even know if buffets are open anymore because
closed. I think it's closed. Yeah.
But anyway, so like I was saying, I mean, just give a shout out to all you Saberists, all you people that are in the community. I mean, it's all about the love. There's no race, there's no gender, there's no politics, there's no religion. It's just all about Star Wars, lightsabers, and the love of the community. And I'm so glad that you see that. You still see that in this arena, because there's so much negativity going on in the world. That's the one thing. Like when I saw what they did for Melissa, I was so I actually offered to give her a stunt saber if anybody wanted to, gut it and put electronics in it for her. That never really went anywhere. But then when all these big names started coming out of the wall, and do this for her, I mean, that just shows you what a great community we're in. It shows you.
I've only really met great people. TK Boomer Fun is here. I had to be here. Thank you for being here. Jeff Birch. Hey, Space. Hey, everyone. Working late, so watching on the side. Well, thank you. Thank you for watching.
So let me fire this up real quick. I'll show you it is what it is. You got to buy the blade separate. This is a 36-inch. You know, you hear it. Once it's in,
did you have to pick a color for that, or the crystal?
No, it's automatic. The legacy sabers are automatic. So any legacy saber that is considered whatever specific canon character is going to be that color. You can't change the color except the new Ahsoka Tano sabers that the Clone Wars redid. So remember how her original sabers were? She had the regular size and a Shoto.
Green.
One was a green and one was like a lime green. Remember from the original Clone Wars?
Yeah.
When she first appeared, like she had the two sabers, and you know, that had like the kind of the original ones she had before she got the katana style ones. Well, did you guys watch the last season of Clone Wars?
Yeah.
Okay. So remember when Anakin gives her old sabers back, but he gave her an upgrade. He said, "Here, I upgraded them for you."
And they were blue at that point, right?
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So here's the cool thing about those.
And then those she had to give back because she left the Jedi. Is that the one she give back?
She didn't get, they were the ones that she left in the snow, right?
She left them at the site where the ship crashed.
Oh, right. She
Yeah,
kinda
and
dropped
Vader took
like-
them.
Like she died, or made it seem like, in a sense, she walked away totally from the Jedi Order.
Yeah, Vader took them, if I remember right.
No, not well. Yes, he did. He did at the very end when he came and found her two sabers that
They
he
were
had
sitting
given
in
her
the
when he
snow.
was Anakin. Because this all transpired right before Order 66.
Right.
You know,
Right before he turned to Vader.
Right. And then when he turned to Vader, he picked up the two sabers that he gave her that were the blue ones. So the cool thing about these are one of the few color changing ones that Disney made. They go from green to blue. They don't have a crystal, but you can change the color of the saber to make them green from the original Clone Wars to blue to the finale of the new ones. So that's one of the new features that the legacy sabers, they're the only ones that do that besides the Hasbro Black Series Revan, which is the one that turns from purple to red. So that actually has two different colors in it. Unlike the other sabers where you build them and you can put a crystal in them and they change the color of the saber. So just to give you an idea, it's it's not too loud.
It looks
not
good.
Too bright.
Looks like the right color.
It's your favorite color, and it's a string blade. I mean, you can still see if you look up close, you see the cobbing, but for the person who wants to get in on an entry level, Canon lightsaber for the price and for, what you get, especially this one, I've seen a lot of them, like the new Ahsoka Tano ones are ginormous. They might as well be Ultra Sabers. They were ginormous. The white ones that she had as a set, they were going for like $200. You had to
go there, man.
Well, the blades are like $50. I mean, I'm going vicariously through eBay, so this is where I'm getting a lot of my stuff.
Are they a 1-inch
I sold
blade?
a bunch of my other stuff that I'm not using, but just the fact, it has.
Are they a 1-inch blade?
Power. It's more of a 7-inch. It's more of a 7/8 blade.
7/8.
Maybe
okay.
a 3/4. It's not a 1-inch.
Okay.
So, I mean, it clashes. It's comes, it swings. It's not smooth swing, but for a cosplay aspect, for a collector's aspect of it, for just to complete my costume, I was very impressed with it, considering for the price, for what
and
you
for
get.
the timing, like you got it, like you said, in the heyday of the whole craze, and you got it quickly and all that. It's only a couple days.
As soon as that episode was over, like honestly, I went on eBay and I started looking, and they had, I put in a couple bids because people were trying to start to price gouge, and then they started doing saying like, oh, this is, they wanted like $300, $350 for that and a blade, or they wanted like $500 for that on a blade, and they were going normally for usually around $50 above asking. Like some people were asking $200 shipped. Like
So
that
Bill,
was
I'm confused. Bill, you paid 180 for the hilt, and did
Yes.
that, for that 180, did you get the blade with it?
no. I had to buy the blade separate. And the funny thing was, when I went on the Disney shop online, they were selling the robes, they were selling the tunics with the tabards, they were selling Jedi belts, and they were selling like blades, and they had adults and kid sizes, but a lot of them were picked over. Since I'm a pretty robust guy, they didn't really have my size. Everything
So
was
what did
kinda
you
either
pay
picked
for the
over.
blade? That's what I'm trying to get at.
Well, I got it at the Disney store for $50, and that's what they
Okay.
normally go for at Doc Ondor's at the
Okay.
parks. So they come in 3 different sizes. There's a 26, which I believe is like 40, and then there's a 36, which I believe is 50. But then they also have the 31-inch standard blade that comes with the build your own, and all the blades work in all the legacy lightsabers. They work in the
All the
ones you build.
sabers from Disney use the same blade. You can just
Right.
get them different lengths.
Exactly. So it doesn't matter if you get I prefer anywhere between like a 30-inch, 32-inch blade, because as far as like training, like sword, a normal katana size, the hilt's usually about 11 inches, and the blade's usually about 28 inches for balance.
Didn't you say you got a 36? Is that because
This
they didn't?
this was the only thing available. I got a 36.
Oh, I see.
I mean, you could have got a 31-inch off of eBay, and that would have cost you maybe anywhere between $50, $60, $70, depending on what people were trying to sell them for. People were selling the 31-inch blade that usually come with the legacy sabers, or not the legacy, the 4 sabers you can build at the parks. And then
So you didn't have to seek out like a green one though. You bought a blade.
I just bought a blade because the color.
The blades are universal, I believe, Ant. The
Correct.
blade will change no matter whatever hilt you put that blade in, it will take on that color. And if
Correct.
you use the Savvy's Workshop sabers, the blade depends upon the crystal that you put in it.
Right. So the blade's universal, and the
Like the
legacy
crystals
sabers
in
are all
Harris's holocrons are for
Correct.
those.
Same crystals. Remember, I brought the holocrons to your house.
Uh-huh.
Ant?
Yeah.
Same crystals. Yes.
But the interesting thing about it, the black obsidian one is still a red crystal. So when you put, if anybody
the
found
black- the black
obsidian
is a
one,
red,
which was the big, thing that people wanted, to get, they were like, people had this lighter trick. They would take their cell phone and they would put the flashlight on and shine it through the thing. And, they were able to find a black obsidian because there was only maybe 1 out of 100 that they would put on display. And they
Harris
became
was telling you that the
They
last
were
time.
cheating,
became
and that pissed
unicorn,
people off.
they became the unicorn. The only thing different was it was obsidian color, it was black, but instead of having, like a Vader, it would have a Palpatine, like if you put it in the holocron. So that was the difference in what it would do. The color of the blade, since there's only 6 colors, which Disney totally changed the whole canon crystal thing, which is another thing we can talk about later if you want. But I'm just saying, like, that whole thing was a hot mess. But it gave you an option to take those 6 crystals, and in the ones that you can build, you could change it depending on the lightsaber crystal that you put into your saber. So, when you buy your saber from all the, I've done a lot of research on it. When you bought your saber, you could pick from 4 different kinds, like power and control, and
Red, green, blue, and purple. Red, green, blue, and purple.
Right.
But
They're the only
they
4 you
also
could
have-
actually buy. I
At
mean,
the
with
Akondars, you
saber-
can buy a white and a yellow as well.
Correct, because you can only buy them in the store. You could walk out and buy the extra crystals, but the only one that wasn't available as readily available was the obsidian one. That was like this little, blah blah blah. That was the obsidian black crystal that people were trying to get, and then they were selling it for outrageous money because it was black. But
Here
the
they
cool
are.
thing about what they did, there it is.
Purple,
Yep.
red, white, green, blue, and yellow. These are the
Yep.
holders. The crystals are inside them.
And the
So
only
if you
difference
took
is
that and
you
put
got
it in
the black
Bill's
one.
saber with the blade change, or he doesn't have a crystal part?
You inside of this is the crystal, and you can open up the saber, not the ones that Bill got, but the sabers from
From the
Savvy's.
Galaxy's Edge. Oh,
Right. the one
It's all
you
Galaxy's Edge.
build.
The build your own at Savvy's, you can change the crystal. So in other words, you get one color with it as you build it, but then when you leave, you can go to Doc Ondar's and buy 3 more different colors and take them home, and you can change the color at will by changing the crystal.
And a lot
Bill,
of
I
people
bet you there's someone with like a hack video
They
about
did.
how to like alter the color.
did.
of-
Yeah,
that's
there
the- you know
are
what, the,
RFID chips, and you can use
Yep.
an RFID chip reader to hack the color and make it any color you want.
and they
Ah.
did that. They also put the sound fonts out there. There was somebody, I can't remember who did it, but they took all 6 crystals and they put them in WAV files, and you could download them for free and have the same colors, like the different sound fonts that they put in, because each crystal has a different sound font.
Correct.
So the hum's different, the swing's
Really?
different. And then the same thing with the holocrons. Each crystal will have different effects on the holocron. So if you put a light side user in a Sith holocron, it might be a totally different person. Like you might get you might get Mace
yeah, I
Windu.
have the holocrons here. I bought the holocrons.
Doesn't that
So
mean that it's
what
more
happens when you put
contained?
a light sided crystal in a dark in a Sith holocron?
It gets mad. I think.
Yeah, you did it.
It's
Right.
mad.
Talks.
It gets bad.
Yeah.
Like he also
With the
did
white-
something where he put the 2 together and they said something and they
Yeah,
turned
that's
purple to like a red and
that
blue
takes
one.
on Bendu from Rebels.
Oh, that's
and Clone
awesome.
Wars.
And the Bendu. Yeah.
Bendu talks, yeah, and he talks about not being the light, not being the dark. He's the Bendu. He's in the
He's in
middle.
the middle.
Yeah.
The one in the middle.
So I'm opening them up. I'm showing you the crystals.
So the red one, the Obsidian is exactly in the red case. It's just a black crystal, and the only difference
Here's
is
the other thing I want to tell you though. There's I don't know exactly how many, but let's say there's 3 different versions of the blue. When you put it in a lightsaber, they'll all sound alike. But when you put the blue, you may get Obi-Wan on the crystal that you chose. If you get another blue crystal, you may get
Luke or something.
Luke. Yeah.
right.
Okay.
And who else is blue? I forget. So like if you get a red, you may get Vader, you may get Palpatine, you may get
The black crystal, right?
not the black one, the red. I'm saying the basic red. The red, you may, you don't know. They call them like blind packs. So I think this is Palpatine, but I could have gotten Dooku, or I could have gotten Vader.
Or
You
Maul.
don't know
I think
until you
Maul was
put it in the
another one.
holocron
Okay.
who was on it. But
So
if
that
I
was
got
another interesting cool thing about that.
if I got an RFID reader or chip reader, I can change it. In other
Yep.
words, all the sounds are in the actual holocron, and these RFID are chipped with a number. So I could change the number on the red and turn that from Vader to Palpatine. And then they call that a customization. You're customizing it.
I see.
And I've seen
Yeah.
people do that. I've seen
Yeah.
people create synthetic crystals.
With the purple.
And they would do that. They would make their own with the RFD chips.
Yeah,
You
it's
could
a,
buy
it's a
it.
molded
Pretty cool.
crystal with an RFID chip inside of it, and they
Mhm.
reprogram it.
Yep. And they
The
sell.
Sad
They
Maul
resell them.
Chronicles says, I found a new FX Darth Maul with blades for 200. That sounds like it's pretty good. Doesn't that
Yeah,
mean
it's a good
2
price.
lightsabers? That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Bill,
So
you were
I mean,
saying something?
I was impressed with some of the things that they did do. I mean, as far as their merchandise, I'm still waiting for my Jedi robes. I have seen a bunch of reviews on it, and a lot of it's like really high quality. Like their Sith robes are their Jedi Sith robes are made like with wool, and they're very heavy, and they have the nice hooks. It's not like the cheapy.
How much was that, Bill?
I think I got. There's a set, so I got I'm waiting for it. It's the tabards with the tunic, so it's like the light tan, almost like an Obi-Wan, and then I got the dark brown robe, and then the Jedi belt. So it comes with like it's a pleather Jedi belt, but it's like supposedly, and all three of those things, I got it actually for the retail cost, because when I
How much
broke it
is
all
that?
down, $300.
300. Okay.
Because
Now-
it's $70 for an adult tunic. It was $125 for the robe and like $60 for the belt. And you break down and do all the math. It's exactly it. Like people were selling these for the
The
tunics
same price
alone.
if you bought it separately.
Well, people were selling the tunics alone for $120 on eBay.
Wow.
They're selling
okay.
the belts for like $100 alone almost. They're selling the robes for $200 some alone. So if I had bought each thing individually, I mean, you're looking at $500 or more, depending on who you buy it from.
Gotcha.
I found a seller on there. I was able to get all three things for $300 and then $10 shipping. So you pay your tax.
I mean, I haven't purchased anything in a while from her, but I use, and I think she changed her name on Etsy. My robe came from the Jedi Closet, I believe it was called.
Okay.
I forget her name now. She changed her name on Etsy, but she's a seamstress, and her stuff is very high quality. My robe cost me, I want to say I think it was around 75 or $80, and it's beautiful. It's very heavy. You can't see through it. It's very high quality. Sewn very well. It's seamed. It's lined. Beautiful. For $75, you can't beat it. But the Disney stuff looks nice too. I mean, I'm not knocking the Disney stuff.
Well, like I said, I saw a lot of reviews on it, and I saw a lot of people talk about them on like, I do a lot of research because I have a lot of free time, because I sit at my desk at work, and as I'm working, I do 80%, 90% of my work on a phone and a computer.
Bill, I hope your boss isn't watching.
I'm in.
Whoa, a new toy!
Well, Big Brother's always watching, but no, I have a double screen. So, one screen I'm watching like my work, and the other screen is just like background stuff. So,
Right.
I'm watching like Anthony do his videos on the other screen, or like I'm watching like, right now I'm in the middle of like Smallville season 6, so I'm just kind of like streaming stuff.
I love Smallville.
Yeah, it lasted 10 seasons, and I was really surprised.
Not to get off topic, but I have multiple pictures with, I forget her name. She's in jail now for prostitution or something.
Nice.
Yeah.
So,
and I met, what's her name too? I met the Lois Lane chick from Smallville is also very cool. They're very cool people.
Well, they're doing a new show called Superman and Lois, and it's supposed to be a sitcom, and they're putting it on CW, coming out in February.
Nice.
And it's supposed to be him and her move back to Kansas, and they have 2 kids, and it's supposed to be some kind of a sitcom where they're. I don't know the full extent of it. It's not like The Boys, where that was awesome. I don't know if you ever had a chance to watch that on Amazon Prime.
Voice is great. Yeah.
That was freaking great. But anyway,
Voice is a great show.
Not to go topic. Let's get back to Star Wars. But but that's what I've that's the experience I've been getting vicariously through the COVID. Is I've been selling stuff that I haven't used, the fun stuff that I've wanted to try out, and if I didn't like it, I would sell it to get to fund something else. So, like for instance, when they didn't call it a Black Friday, they called it a Dark Friday sale, and this was when you guys heard of Electrum Sabers, right? Electrum Saber Craft.
Sure.
So I've always wanted to try it out, and I thought it would be interesting, and because Dave had one, Dave Bowden, and I tried it out, and I just wanted to see for myself if it was something for me, and it was really well done. It's 2 guys with their own lathe, and they make everything by hand. They're in Canada. They've created this Bluetooth Unity app, and it works great with the iPhone.
Yep.
There's a couple little bugs here and there with it, but I mean, for the most part, you can do everything on the Bluetooth app. Like basically,
it's pretty cool. I've seen Dave's.
Turn your saber on, turn your saber off. You can change colors, sound effects, everything. I mean, you can do sound profiles. It's really, really intuitive. Like, it's something, like for the cost. So on the Dark Friday sale, shall I say, they released a new saber called the Ebon Razor, which was their take on the Dark Saber, and they were releasing that alongside doing like a raffle and everything on the 3-day sale they had. This was before Black Friday. Everything was 20% off. So I wanted to try out one of the sabers. I got one of the neophytes, which was just a really skinny
bare bones. It had the only thing that I think I added to it was a cover tech, and
Do you have
it was,
that with you?
I sold it.
Oh, you sold it. Okay.
I was just gonna say, like, you know, there's a really, really well-made product, little glitchy here and there, but it was just the fact that I think I'm just an old school analog guy. I like buttons. I like tactile switches. The switch plate was a little wonky for me. I mean, some people love it. Some people, you know, rave about it. And they're just like, you know, that's all they buy are Electrum Sabers.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've seen that before. They're the Electrum Saber. They're what I guess it would be like the equivalent of a like a card, like we would put in the graph, like the card, you know, that we put in the Graflex in the EvoFlex. There's no buttons. There's no physical movement.
I've seen that.
It's touch sensitive. It like takes the heat or the touches. Yeah.
Now,
like
Bill,
takes
do
the
you have
heat
that
off of your
like
hand and
on hand?
and
One of those sabers?
That's one of the ones I sold. Like the one I did pick up, and I'll show you that.
It's very cool, man. It's a cool little addition.
And you know what? I've been trying. You know, I've been trying different companies, different boards, different things. Like you know, I talked to you guys about my build here. This was my first build, but I cheated, and this is something that I've always wanted to do a Scraplex. I've always loved it. As far as I wanted to try something where I could weather it. I wanted to do something and leather wrap it, you know, and I've always wanted to just be able to build something that, you know, I built, you know what I mean? So this was something that like is from TCSS. I bought the parts from there. This was
I love the way it looks. I love it.
This was actually a Spectre pommel.
That pommel is beefy.
So that's actually from Ultra Sabers. This was their version.
Harris, don't you love that pommel?
Thick.
And it had the D ring because it's, you know, the Spectre was their version of Kanan Jarrus's Saber.
And that thread hooks up to the TCSS thread.
So yeah, well, that was the reason I bought it, because I wanted something with a D ring. I don't like cover techs so much so because they just get in the way of dueling, and I like things that are very streamlined. Like my favorite hilts are like the Coda, the Silver Knights. So I wanted to do something in that vein. All right. Instead of having the bunny ears and the red button, you know, a lot of people love Greeblies. A lot of people love that. I just wanted something very streamlined. I wanted something very, you know, something that speaks to me and put the brass pins in, you know, and I cheated it. You know, I'll be honest with you, I cheated. You know, I do have the, you know, the Graflex brass plug. But I put everything together in my mind. I did all the weathering myself. I did the leather wrapping myself. And the only thing I did that I cheated on is that TCSS makes a plug and play kit for V1 and V2 sets. So it's an RGB, and they have it wired to an Anabiscotti version 4. And you can only do 3 sound fonts, which just clash. But for what I wanted to do, I just wanted to do one and make it myself, make it my own. So I had them cut, like I got a 7-inch, just you know, I guess what you want to call it, I guess the handle piece.
The main body?
The main body, yeah, a main body piece. So I had them put in a 16 millimeter hole so I could put the electronics in. So before I did that, you know, when I got all the parts in, I had it all figured out how I wanted to build it. I used the glass eye as the thumb screw, so that way I don't have to worry about, you know, I like things with thumb screws because it just makes things so much easier to take apart and put together. But I did add the brass pins on both sides, and it does have the brass, you know, what do you call it? The blade plug. Yeah, and it does have a lit thing. So after everything was painted and dried and cured, and I did the wrap and everything, then I had it aesthetically the way I wanted to do it. Then I put the electronics in. It's just a plug and play kit. It's like what you know, a lot of companies are doing now.
All wired in a harness, right?
Yeah, everything's wired itself in a harness. So it's you could take this out and put in another Saber. You know, everything's, I don't know if you know, and it has a 1865 rechargeable battery. But I mean, everything's plug and play. You know, you just plug the things in together. You know, you play it together, and that's what I was asking about those 3 sound fonts. Like, what do you thought the best for the Graflex? So I would gotten like Heirloom, Bespin 2, you know, and
like maybe one of the Juan Synth.
you know, and I was pretty proud of myself because I'm not a coder, I'm not an electrician like you guys. I don't know how to build, but you know, artistically, I wanted something that I could say I built, I called my own, and this is what came out of it. So this is my version of my Scraplex.
It's a great way to start, Bill.
So this is something that I did over, like, you know, over the COVID times. Like, this was, you know, one of the things that I've been exploring. Another was checking out the cheapest, best affordable neopixel setup lightsabers, and I found an RVS, which is a Revan style pack store.
That's great.
You can get a pack store. It's an Ultimate Works. It's very, very well made. It's very streamlined. It's almost like 1-1 comparison as far as it. And the one interesting thing about it is they have what they call a heart, and the chassis system in these, you can either get a stereo, which is their version, or you can get the Profi, you know, 2.2. But everything in this chassis is really well done. I mean, they got it. Your card is accessible. They have your pin connectors. They have your speaker is pretty protected. Everything's wrapped in in heat sink, so nothing's exposed.
That looks great.
And I just updated the firmware on this, so this now has automatic ignition. Once you turn the Saber on, just like on the Profi, it has gesture control. So I could just like flick it on and it'll just power on, you know, which is one of the best firmware updates they've done on this. And so you can get this style in either a stereo 2.5, which is their version of, like, I guess a Profi crystal focus, and it takes crystal focus sound fonts. So it'll take the CFX wave files. You just have to configure them a little different. And you know, this I think I have 32 sound fonts on this. I think that's pretty good. There's a 16 gig, and it has a removable 18650. You can charge it through regular USB and access it on your computer with it as well. Right here is a USB slot, just like your phone, you know, like a regular phone one. And you know, for the cost, it was $320, and it came with a 36-inch mid-grade poly-grade blade. And the interesting thing is, you don't need to get a neopixel blade plug. You don't have to do the chip. It has LEDs in it.
It's time.
So, you know, it actually could take any type of blade plug. You don't need an actual specific plug for it.
Because it's producing its own light.
You know, it's got, you know, your secondary button, lock up. It's got tip drag. And now they have all these different new effects, like flame effects. I got the other one with a blade in it, but I just wanted to show, I added a brass cover tech because it was a plastic black one. It was kind of cheap. And then put in a brass TCSS, you know. I just like their blade plugs, but
yeah, I think
I put a regular TCSS blade plug in there, and it's pretty loud. And for the cost of it being shipped, they were doing a sale, I think, on Black Friday for $300, and I think for shipping from Hong Kong is like $40 with DHL. And with DHL, I mean, they're quick. They're the quickest, I think, shipping in the world. Like, you know, I ordered a Saber Trio RTS.
I know. I get stuff like the next day.
Yeah.
It's crazy from like across the world. I get it like the next day. I don't know how that
happens. When I ordered from Electrum, they're from Canada. And if you ordered before a certain amount of time, you would get your Saber for Christmas. Well, I think I ordered it November 18th, and I got it on December 20th, 21st. It was that, and it was through DHL. So they shipped it that Friday, and I got it by that Monday. That's how quick DHL is. Like, and this was from Canada.
They weren't affected by all those slowdowns with the post office.
Well, it's because they're their own thing. I mean, they're global, and you know, when you're dealing with the FedEx, sometimes you deal with the carriers that go from FedEx to USPS because they want to save on money, or they go from UPS to USPS. That's where all the stuff's like getting jammed up in. You know, FedEx is usually pretty good if you go straight FedEx. UPS,
yeah, but FedEx
good.
wants like I take the same size package like for like a Blade where like UPS will ship it for like 15 or 18 bucks. And then I take it to FedEx because like maybe something's going like wrong with the post office, and they're like, "Oh, that'll be $71." I'm like, "Whoa! I can't.
Yeah,
no, I can't do that."
They're very expensive when it comes to certain things, but you know. So the jewel that I did pick up, I've always wanted a Vader's Vault. Like it's one of those things. Like
that's my weak spot.
You know, it was one of those things where I didn't want to wait a year. And I've always wanted one of their Havocs. I've always wanted a chocolate brown leather wrap. And this is a NeoPixel with the CFX. And I got it for steel. Like somebody was selling it for $550 with the blade. And it's unheard of because you can't even get these brand new, especially with the copper accents on it. I mean, for under $700. And then waiting 7 months for it, if that. For, you know, and as far as the size of it, just to give you a size comparison, like this is
close to the Revan size though, right?
Well, it is. The Revan's very close to, but if you look at the difference in hilt width, usually the regular MHS V1 are anywhere between 1.4, you know, or 1.45 as far as almost 1.5 inches. Some of them, like this is you know, it's still decent size. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's not like it's a ginormous, you know, burrito in your hand. But compared to that, this is like, you know, a toothpick. But, you know, it's just the same thing with the way they now do their electronics. Everything's is now in one hit and chassis like this. So this is a Delrin chassis, you know, regular 18650 battery. You can remove it. They do have a system where they're using the PCBs on their speakers now. So it's really interesting how the technology has evolved so quickly that, you know, you could take the whole speaker off and see what the pins. Like everything on the way their speakers are now set up, they're set up as if they were, you know, doing like everything is like
modular.
Yeah, I mean, you know, a lot of the companies now that's what they're doing. They're using PCBs and they're using a lot of the you know, the newest technology to make the best and, you know, simplistic ways.
The best and the brightest.
I'm sorry?
The best and the brightest?
Well, it's for mass-produced hilts. They're one of the top of the line. I mean, they introduced like they've always had the relationship with Plector. They've always used Plector products. They've always
even created like their own proprietary board in that crystal shard with Herb.
Yep. And, you know, as far as their customer service and everything and the quality, I mean, it's top notch. Like, I mean, if people wanted to get a mass produced, but again, you're waiting and to get something customized at this price point, like I couldn't pass it up. So I sold a bunch of stuff just so I could get this hilt. And every like original creation they make their own sound font for it. So this is the Havoc, right? You know, this is their own sound font, you know. And since Anthony's, I used to be a blue guy now. Now I'm a green guy. But as you can see, like you know, this is their blade, and this is their hilt. So, you know, it's they kind of shave it
But
down
they're
a little
actually
bit.
giving one away, something
Oh, yeah.
brand new. I guess you probably saw this.
I
This
actually had
is
a contest because they it was the negotiator, and it was the animated series version of Obi-Wan's hilt, and it was a limited run, and it supposedly there was this big drama with somebody about saying that they were entitled to this, entitled to that, and they were having problems because they were saying it was supposed to be released you know, in fourth quarter last year. Now it's only going to be released first quarter this year because I think they're having some problems with you know, just keeping up with orders because they're very high in demand. And, you know, unless you can get an RTS or a secondhand hilt, I mean, you're going to be waiting close to a good year for one of their hilts. And I would lucked out finding this hilt like on, you know, Facebook Marketplace. And, you know, that's why I was like very, very shocked at the price and shocked. I thought it was almost like too good to be true. But when I got it, you know, to have a CFX, to have the neopixel, to have a Vader's Vault blade, I mean, and not only that, but to have the, you know, customization, because they usually just do weathering or it's just straight, you know, silver, like the whole hilt, unless you get a Dark Havoc, which is, you know, powder coated black in parts. You're not going to get a customized accented one like that unless you order it, you know, either from their customization shop or getting it on an RTS sale. And like I said, that was my dream saver, one of my dream savers. That was one of the things that I've always wanted to get. And, you know, and I love it. It's like, you know, my favorite saber to date as for right now. But
That's awesome.
The other one I did,
I bet you it's super balanced. I love the Vader's Vault, like the way that they are.
it is. You know, the only thing I would do would get a shorter. I like shorter blades, and then when you get to, that's why I wanted to get one of your TriStar blades and get a 26-incher, because you see where the balance point is with the blade. If it was a smaller blade, because there's almost like a 2-inch cavity here,
it would be more at the hilt side.
Yeah. So if there was like say 4 inches cut off, 4 to 6 inches cut off of the 32-inch blade, that's why I prefer more of a 28 or 26-inch blade. The balance point should be right here, like right where my finger is. Like that's like, well, because practicing samurai sword, your balance point should be right here when you're holding.
Wow, that's a very lightweight hilt.
So when you're looking at that, the only thing that would offset that using that size of blade would be a weighted pommel. And that would be the only way. The only ones I know that do that are like Ludosport. They do a weighted pommel system that if they are specifically made for that style of fighting, and then you can add weight to the pommel, and then that'll balance out the size of the blade you use. Because a lot of you know, sabers I found out aren't, you know, it's very hard to get a very balanced saber that'll get you, like, this is pretty close. This is the Pack Store Ultimate Works Wonder Forces version of the Silver Knight. And I think I got it for like $100 on, you know, it wasn't installed, the first one I got, the one I'm going to send you that Harris has. But, you know, it breaks down into 4 pieces, the emitter, the piece again here. This also has a removable chassis system and has the 2 tactile buttons here. This whole piece moves out and can slide if you take the cover tech wheel out. And
that looks good. I like that.
And has an opening here where you could have a crystal reveal. So the cool thing about this, and I'll show you. Yeah, there it is. That's the one I'm going to give you, Ant. It had a
nice.
D-ring, so that's the one you're going to get. But it had a D-ring on it. It has a chassis I gave Harris that fits a CFX, so you can put a CFX in there. And it's set up for 2 tactile switches. It's set up for
nice. I like the way yours has those two little tactiles poking out. That looks great.
And this is your retention screw, is the black, retention knob here. And that was one of my other favorite sabers, was the Silver Knight. Like, I missed the run on Seven Chambers one, which was one of the most accurate ones. I missed the run they had, like, when they used to have it at Saber Forge. But I've heard a lot of complaints with some of their hilts being very sharp and not like chamfered, So a lot of their exposed aluminum, would be, cut the crap out of it. Like, I got one of their hilts.
Yeah, well, this design doesn't really have those sharp edges, but I know what you mean. Like some of their hilts, where it's like a Luke Skywalker like rib section, or it's like one of those ones with even the tighter rib section. Those can cut the hell out of your hands. It's happening.
Oh my goodness! Well, the control box on their Graflex, because I got in on when they started doing the ASP parts, and he did the Kickstarter. He was like giving you all these things, and I wanted to check it out, and I got their Graflex. And the control box was razor sharp. And the minute that I put my finger on the control box, it sliced my finger like, I was like gushing blood.
Damn.
On all over the place. And like, as soon as that happened, I sold the hilt. I'm like, first of all, it's not very accurate. Secondly, it's just a danger, because if I could do this to myself, imagine if my kids got a hold of it, what they would do to themselves. But these are very, the Pack Store and Ultimate Works, I'm telling you, like their stuff is.
I've worked on some of that stuff. It's really, really high quality. It's great. Let me say hi to a couple people. Repulse Collectibles is here. Hello there. What is going on? Well, hello there.
So just one more thing. I'm waiting on one more Ultimate Works. I ordered the Brick Saber.
Oh yeah, you were telling me.
And I've always loved
Star
Wars.
The Lego Saber?
Loved Legos. I've loved the Lego Star Wars trilogy, and they released the Brick Saber. Now, what's awesome about the Ultimate Works stuff is you could get what they call 3 different versions. 1, you can get an empty and install it yourself. 2, you can get a pre-kit. Any of these chassis, whether it's their Asteria Heart or Profi Heart board, can be removed and put into another saber that's pre-kit. So they have like 10 different sabers that you can take the chassis out, put into another hilt, and it'll work without having to buy another chassis system. So all you're doing is buying another hilt with the pre-kit setup, popping in the chassis. Now you only need like 1 or 2 chassis, depending on what you want to do. So this one I ordered
probably doesn't work with the Count Dooku.
No, right? Probably not. But certain ones will. Like most of the linear ones like this will. Like they have a Kit Fisto one. They have this one. They have the 2 Revens. They have 2 different Revens. Like the other Revan Crest, which is the purple bladed one. They have the one the FST, I believe they call it. They have the one from Fallen Order. You can put that in there. They have the
I like their version of that. That looks good.
The Luke Hero
version lightsaber.
Yeah, so they have the Luke Hero one, which I want to get eventually. And they have that is compatible with the Profi part. So that's what I ordered next. I ordered the Brick Saber, which was only $139 for the pre-kit. So I can put any of these chassis in that, and I'm only paying $139 plus the shipping. Anytime you're getting from DHL in Hong Kong, you're looking anywhere between $20 to $40. But the fact is, when you get it quickly. And then I'm getting a Profi Heart version of the Asteria Heart, so it's going to be a Profi board. And I want to get that set up to the 5.7 OS so you can do the gesture control, battle mode, all that. And I just saw a video of Dimitri put on. He took a Black Saber, like a Black Series Luke A New Hope, gutted it, created an aluminum blade holder, Profi 2.2, gesture control, all the stuff like, set up with Collector Pixel. And it was amazing. I said, and it was really cool, like how he had it set up, because he had one that was buttonless. Because now with the new Profi configurations, you don't even need a button to power on or power it off. So that's what's incredible about the Profi Sabers. But I just want to show you this real quick, and then you guys can move on. I've just been very excited about wanting to share some of these things with you guys because just giving some people some ideas, like, you know, about what's available. But once you turn this on, if it turns on,
Legacy, Imperial Knight.
so,
Ooh, nice color.
you know, this is one of the new effects besides the ignitions, you know, that automatically do the ignitions.
That looks
So,
like straight out of
I
the
love
comic book, the
great-
Imperial Knights.
Their configurations aren't easy as far as it's a lot of trial and error, but you have forums that people can tell you what's available. So they have different, you know, configurations of it, of what you can do. And considering this is an LGT $75 lightsaber blade, it really is pretty good. I'm just really surprised. And it's a heavy grade blade. You know?
That one looks like a lot of fun. That looks,
It
that
is.
looks
You
great.
know, and, you know, it's really cool. Like, you know, and then some of them, you know, have different effects where it'll change, like, you know, the colors, the strobing to.
Is that one
you know,
blue to you or
effect.
silver to you? Like that blade color you had right there.
You like
Was that
that
like
one?
blue in person, or was that like white?
It was had a lot of different colors. It was like a bluish, had blues and whites, and like it was kind of like a fire effect or a flame effect.
Oh, okay.
So here's a green. This is just a little pulse. You know, regular green. You know, you block up. You know, and you're pushing. You know, there's a kind of a. They also do a tip drag, which you really can't see. But I mean, you know, I got about 32 fonts on here. You know, this is one of the new ones. It's like a sizzle, like almost like rain's hitting it. You know, and see how it changes the rainbow color when you do the
Like for
blasters.
blasters. Yeah, that looks cool.
And then, you know, they have like
That looks
This
cool.
one is
It
the other
looks
one,
like it's
like,
changing
or-
color when you swing.
yeah. So
That looks like an Imperial Knight to me, like from the comics, I'm telling you.
that's what I'm talking about. So that's why I added the D ring on that one, the one you're getting, because it originally has a D ring. This is the only thing that I think is, besides the little greebly here and the D ring, they're the only two things that aren't, you know, accurate to the comic, and I actually have an Imperial Knight cosplay. So maybe the next Saber talk I'll wear that one, because of this Saber, I actually put together a full armor and did a Imperial Knight cosplay too. So, you know, like I said, I've just been excited to show you some of the things that I discovered. In this has been my COVID
Escape.
you know, like a I guess exploration of like what's out there, what's available. And now I'm ready for a Profi, so I'm waiting for that to come and to see, you know, how that is, because I've seen some of those things on there, and they even have like a wall melt. Remember, like the part where they do the iron door?
Yeah.
Where Makoto
Like,
used to
if you guys
have it.
check out FET263. He's got all the effects. FET263 on YouTube. He's got all the Profi effects. Bill, you're gonna go crazy when you see like all the different stuff that he has available that you could just download to your lightsaber, kind of like what you did with your Golden Harvest board, but like way more. You know, you could just do whatever you want with that. It's really, really crazy. Really, really crazy.
But that's what I've been into for the last 6 months of like quarantine.
I
know,
mean, it looks like you did well for yourself. You got like all these like they look all really high end. They look like the ones you really, really wanted. I'm jealous. You know, some of those like that Imperial Knight, that Luke, they look great. They look awesome. They sound good too.
Well, you're gonna get the Imperial Knight one, and you can install it with the CFX. So I mean, Well, as soon
Yeah,
as,
I
as
no
soon as
longer
that,
have an Imperial Knight, so that'll be a lot of fun.
yeah, well, that'll be yours. And then whenever you see Harris, we'll bring it to you. And then, you know, I just want to show you one last thing, and then I'll be done, I think.
That Wolf from Hyrule. Hey, Space and friends. Hope all is well. Hope all is well with you too. Thanks for being here. Thanks for staying up with us.
I just wanted to first show this is the original one, the Harris built. This I'll never part with. This is like one of those things that'll always be dear to my heart. You know, as far as like, you know, as far as, I mean, this was the first TSL sound saber that we built together with TSL V2 parts from Custom Saber Shop.
Did Harris work on that one?
I still love it. I mean, it's
Put it in my house, yeah.
What's that, Harris?
it's running a Prism 5.5 RGB LG. You know, I mean, it's, you know, perfect for two-handled dueling. It's got the D-ring. Has the pseudo Kanan Jarrus kind of emitter, you know, with the, you know, samurai looking thing. But then you put the other extension on there. I put a Subo on it, so when I duel, you know, it looks like a samurai sword. But that's still one of my favorites. And last but not least, Saber Trio. Have you guys heard of Saber Trio?
Yeah, Gabe talks about them a lot. I think he follows them on Instagram. He really likes some of their designs and stuff. That one looks really short. That one looks like a Shoto or something.
Well, actually, it has a longer pommel, but the thing is, this was their version, I believe, of Coda. It looks like a ROM Coda to me. When I saw it, I got this on an RTS sale probably about 3 years ago, and I got it for my birthday. And, you know, I think they were selling it. And at the time, NeoPixel just came out. You could have gotten it with an MB4 with NeoPixel. And I opted out because I just didn't want to pay the extra $100 and wait, which I probably should have. But it only has one sound font. It had a Pico Crumble light side, 2.5 in it. So, I mean, most of my sabers, you know, have the, you know, Plector Labs boards in it, but just, you know, just give you an idea. And for, you know, what it's worth, they are, in my opinion, I believe they're from Malaysia, if I'm not mistaken. But they use Delrin chassis, 18665 batteries. They have a recharge port. They're very, very affordable, and they're very high quality as far as, to me, they're like the Asian Vader's Vault because of the, they have a very limited amount of original hilts that they're still building on from when they, you know, started their company. I think there's maybe about 8 to 10 original hilts that they do. But their customer service and quality, in my opinion, is right up there, right behind Vader's Vault. So, like, when you look at mass-produced original hilts, you know, I think like they're right up there with, and then Sabermock is another company that I haven't gotten into yet, but I've heard a lot of good things with they do a lot of you know, original stuff for dueling, and then they also do cannon hilts that they'll take a cannon hilt, and they use CFX, they use you know, the NeoPixel stuff, so they have stepped up their game a little bit as far as the Asian markets. So, you know, those are some of the things that, you know, I've explored and discovered in my 6-month journey of of being imprisoned and quarantined in my house, and it's kept me sane in some ways. But, you know, honestly, you know, I couldn't recommend more than, you know, what we've talked about tonight, just to give people an idea of budget and give people an idea of what's available and what's out there and what you can get, you know, for your money, or where you can start. One other place that I did look at, there were 3 different LGT Saber companies or distributors per se that are pretty decent. I had gotten one of them, but I sold it. But it was a Vire Sabers. They allowed you to build the saber itself. It had a Neo core of, you know, the newest one's called an RGBX.
I don't think I've heard of them.
So, have you heard of LGT or YDP Sabers?
all right. I think I may like look at some of their stuff on Instagram actually. Now that you say it, because like I kind of read it like it's like lightsabers, right? But it's like
Right.
okay.
So we got to look at like the two biggest companies in China that do budget sabers are YDD and LGT. They're the two biggest mass producers of. You see them in every different vendor possible, but they put it in a different name. So, like you see the one that Harris had, that was called the Kyojin. That was a tiny giant. Well, that hilt is a YDD made saber. It's the company is the YDD. They mass produce those hilts. I actually have one too, just for my daughter.
It's not a tiny giant anymore.
So I know, but this is what it originally looked like without the leather.
And then Harris added a bunch of shroud work.
Right. So you figure this is Daddy's and this is my daughter's.
That's
So,
cool though. Like,
they're
she
pretty,
got a little mini leather wrap there.
Yeah, I wrapped it for her. Mine's blue, hers is green. So I mean, but this is what you can do with them. But that's a YDD saber. That's what one of the YDD like people see these things and they have all different names, like like the Kyojin, the Tiny Giants, a lot of saber companies, resellers, had the same exact sabers, but they're manufactured by two different companies. And like I said, YDD makes that hilt, and LGT makes a lot of the newer hilts that are cores. They call them it's a cylinder, maybe they're 0.99, and then they build parts that you can either put in a RGB in hilt, or you can put in a Profi in hilt. Which
Harris, it's beautiful. And that looks great, dude.
It has.
But I was going to say, you could take.
Looks like you keep it
shiny.
shiny.
This is what I'm talking about. You guys are master smiths, in my opinion, because to take something that costs $50 like this, I think you got it for 10 from Aaron Lynn, right? I'm just saying something that's like 10, $50. That's very basic, has, something like that. That's like a starter saber for kids. I mean, it's great for a kid. It's like $50-$60. It's good in their hands. Come with a 7/8 blade. I shaved mine down. I think I cut it down to 24 inches for my daughter. So it wasn't, they usually come with like a 36-inch. So I cut the blade down for her, made her a blade plug, just to make sure that she didn't blind herself playing with it. But, I did the daddy-daughter wrap thing because this was my first saber that I ever had. And this was a Ultra Sabers, one of their initiates or apprentices or whatever they are. It's not bad. It's not as big as their other ones.
Still looks and sounds good.
I mean, it still works. It's, got the blue. I got the, I put a
real good Padawan saber.
A different pommel on it with the tri-ring. So that usually goes on their Luke Skywalker version ones. But so the LGT ones, there's three companies that are big now called Fire Sabers, Crimson Dawn, and Dark Wolf. And they're all what they call resellers of different brands of LGT, YDD, and even like their own. They even make their own. Like they have, I think, I'm not sure if it was Dark Wolf or Crimson Dawn, but one of them makes a Gunji saber from the Clone Wars, where the the Wookiee is a Padawan, and
Love that.
he creates a saber with wood on it. They have a couple of the other ones where they've added a couple of their own unique sabers in it. So you see a lot of the pieces like on Fire Sabers, just like on ASP on Saber Forge, you can go there and get a saber for like $120. You get the core, you get the removable battery. It comes with different pieces you can choose: your emitter, your switch section, your grip, your pommel section. You can bling it out a little bit. I mean, they have pre-made sabers. You can make your own saber. They're really, can be very shiny, frosty looking. I had gotten the black one just to try it out to see
That's
what
how
the
Harris's was. I think he sanded it a lot to get it like smoother.
Well, it used to come all the way up to about here. I extended it about 2 inches.
So
yeah,
usually
I do remember that. Yeah, with your extra parts there.
So when you sanded it, you took the frosted aluminum off, and it just got to the raw aluminum, right? That's how it's high polished like that.
It's painted silver, and I hand sanded it and took all the painted silver off of it.
So what was that? So that's just the raw aluminum, right?
Yeah,
That's left
underneath. Yes.
So once you finished it, you polished it with the raw aluminum.
Just polish it up.
Instead of having that coating, which a lot of these Chinese sabers do, but for if you're looking on any of the Facebook pages, they all have their own. But this is why I say you guys can take something like what I showed you, a $60 toy, and make it into a in my opinion, I consider it a priceless masterpiece because it's transformative. You're taking something that was
one of a kind.
Pretty much,
you made it one of a kind.
Well, yeah, I mean, you take, and that's why I consider you guys master smiths. You guys can take pieces of anything, and because of your skill set and your artistic, because that's the whole thing too. Not only do you guys have the mechanical mind, but you have the artistic mind. Because it's like being three minds in one. You have this technical side, you have this electrical side, and then you have this artistic side. And all of these three elements are meshed together into I don't have that kind of a brain. Like I've never been a mechanical guy. I don't know about the electrical side.
I consider I'm very lucky. When I work with Ant, he's got strong points and I've got strong points. He's got weak points. I've got weak points. But when we come together, it just, we mesh well. And when we work together, just it just flows right in.
Yeah.
That Graflex, the contest saber was beautiful.
Yeah, I'm real proud of that one.
Absolutely.
The work we did on that one. Mundo is here. We got Mundo in the house. Hail Space. Hail Harris. Hail everyone. My internet is like super slow right now. I try to hit a button.
Nice.
Love it.
So, I apologize for taking up a lot of time. I was just very excited and passionate to want to share some of that with you guys in the Saber community and what's going on. So, I'll step back now. If you guys want talk about anything or
I'm ready to go to bed.
What you're working on.
This is way past Harris's.
Even though I was born in South Korea or found in South Korea, I really think there's some part of Italian in me or something because, I just I like to talk with my hands and, I could just go on, but I don't want to be greedy and take up any more time, but I appreciate you guys as brothers.
I just installed the brick saber, says Rich.
Nice. What'd you put in it?
So you must know all about it, all about that saber. Maybe he installed yours.
I don't know. What'd you install with? That's what I'm curious. Did you put a Profi or a CFX in it?
TK Boomer says brick saber. Yeah, this is like the Lego saber from.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's just like 3 cylinders, basically, almost. And a bunch of years ago, Ace Rocket made a version that a few people purchased on a special run on FX Sabers. But this that Bill's talking about, I think, is a different run altogether. Oh, Tim McAndrew is here. Hey, Anthony. Hey, Mr. Harris. What's going on, Tim? Felicia Marie.
Tim. Hey, Felicia.
What's going on tonight? Let's see. JJ Jeffers is here. Hey, just got here. Hello.
Hey, JJ.
Hello there. Oh, Rich says Profi.
Nice.
Profi
so that's what I ordered for this one.
Oh,
so
no, he says no, that one needs a person. Simple
okay.
build.
Well, this one has a Profi that's coming. and it's got a Profi with the Profi kit and the neopixel adapter. So that's what I'm waiting on. And once I can get one of my my hands on one of your TriStar blades, like a short blade in it, I mean, it's probably going to you can probably see it from from a satellite. It'll probably like one of the space stations will be like, dude, what is that, man? It's
high
like,
above the earth.
Yeah, they'll probably see it from Google Earth, like lit up, like me standing outside, like swinging around. I'll probably get somebody
as one
will,
of those like people who interfere with the planes.
Yeah, it's like, dude,
you'll be on the no-fly list.
Landing strip. We told it was okay to start landing there, but we didn't know what it was. It was so bright, man, and it's like, no, but that's my goal. I'd really like to show on the next Saber talk is once I get my Brick Saber and a TriStar blade and see what the Profi can do. I mean, like I said, I've seen some amazing things. Just to think like going buttonless, no buttons at all to turn a Saber on and off, to do all the like different features. I've seen battle mode. I've seen people use it like do the wall melt like they did in Phantom Menace, where they're melting, putting the Qui-Gon's putting the Saber in the wall, melting the wall, and they're trying to basically break open the blaster doors and cut through them. And so I guess I'll be quiet for a little bit if you guys want to say anything.
Well, what I can do here before we wrap up the stream is just show you guys real quick the video that Gabe made about the lightsaber giveaway, the lightsaber blade giveaway. So let's just take a look at that.
And that's the Ascend too, right?
What's going on, guys? Jedi Gabe here from Civilized Sabers. If you're still interested in entering the contest to win your very own Photon neopixel blade from Civilized Sabers, head on over to our YouTube channel, hit subscribe, and leave a comment on this video regarding this contest. The drawing is going to be the first week of January, so be on the lookout for exact dates and more information. However, this is only the second place prize. That's right. What's the first place prize? Your very own Civilized Sabers TriStar neopixel blade of your choice at that. That's right. First place winner. Get your very own TriStar neopixel blade from Civilized Sabers. Second place, the Photon neopixel blade. And third place, third runner up, will win 4 Civilized Sabers neopixel blade plug chips. So go on over to our YouTube channel, Civilized Sabers, comment on this video, and you will be entered to win. Drawing is going to be the first week of January, so be on the lookout for announcements on the exact date and more information. See you guys soon.
Okay, so we're actually doing this. We're going to do like a lead up to this Saturday, where we're just going to promote this contest a little bit more. And then next Saturday, which is the 23rd at 10 a.m. Eastern, both of those podcasts are going to be Saturday at 10 a.m. the next 2 Saturdays. On that second Saturday, on the 23rd, we're going to actually pick one of those names from the comment list on that video out of R2D2. Okay, so I'm going to reach my hand into R2D2 that Harris has over my house, an R2D2 big freezer thing. I'm going to reach my hand into that and grab someone's name from that comment in that video. I put the link in the live chat, and I'll put it in the description of this video after we're done. In case anyone watches this after the fact over the next week or two, you could still enter up until it'll probably be like the Wednesday or Thursday before the 23rd, that Saturday, just so I could like actually get all those names collected. So definitely head over there if you're looking for a TriStar or a Photon blade, or you just want to have fun and enter the contest, or come and check out the live stream when we pick the winner. That's going to be a lot of fun. JJ says, I want to be in Gabe's contest. We'll go there and register after the show. Awesome. That way, JJ, you have a trans white TriStar coming to you, and you could pick, if you win, you could pick, maybe you want a different color TriStar, maybe you want an enhanced blue or enhanced amber or something like that, you'll get to pick. So definitely go check out that. What'd you say, Harris? You're going to enter?
I'm bummed. I want to be in the contest.
Is that allowable for
Well, Harris is going to get a TriStar. You know what we're going to build for him? He's going to get a TriStar that is 7/8. So it's going to be like the world's first that I know of, world's first 7/8 inch TriStar, and that's going to be for his his special Graflex, this vintage Graflex that he's building, the Martin Bear. So
that's going to be amazing.
For that he needs it.
Like,
especially
you could probably do a whole show on that one.
Yeah, I think that's going to be fun. And because recently when I've been making the TriStars, I'm like thinking about it more, and I'm like, I told Harris last time we talked about it, I think it's going to work. I think it's going to look really good.
Oh my gosh, I can only imagine.
And he's got a really good
battery. You got too, right? Because the one that you modded, isn't that a 7/8?
What's that?
The one you modded, isn't that a 7/8?
Yeah, the patch store one.
Yeah,
it's 7/8 also.
But he's got
and that's neopixel, right? What's that running? The CFX?
Yeah, neopixel CFX, running CFX board. Neopixel. I get about 15, 20 sound fonts on it.
Nice.
Yeah, and I still I haven't really done anything to it. Show you guys this real quick.
I see you got some of your stuff back.
Yeah, not a lot, but I got some back.
I got some.
I've been working on that.
What is that? A progeny? What is that?
What is it, Ann? A Starfire?
I think it's called Starfire.
Starfire, okay.
I'm not positive because there's two names. Me and Gabe, like Gabe told me what it was, but there's two names that I get confused with. I think it's called Starfire. Not yet, right, Harris?
When Ann got it for me, when I got it, it was all black.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, it's not installed yet. But
what are you going to install with?
I don't know yet. I don't know. I haven't even gotten that far yet, to be honest with you.
Now, have you guys ever used the Golden Harvest or the Versa boards yet?
Not yet.
Because I'm just curious. Like I've heard some mixed reviews on both of them. I know Versa is a very simplistic one, but the Saber Forge is finally catching up. They did what Ultra Sabers didn't do, and that was step up their game. As far as their electronics. So now their highest tier, they're doing NeoPixel with the Golden Harvest board on their Sabers. If you go NeoPixel, so. And if you go, I think it's their hero tier, whatever their highest level tier is, that they use the Golden Harvest for, as far as I know.
Well, I tell you, I'm still loyal to and a fan of CFX. Irv Plechter, I consider him a good friend, and a genius, to be honest with you. I'm dabbling. I may put a Profi in this in the Martin Bear, but I think I want to do a CFX in this one.
Oh,
sure. We'll see.
And what are you working on? We want to see what you're working on right now, or something that you need to showcase. Because
I don't understand something, Bill. Ant's got so many sabers he's got to build for other people. He doesn't do anything for himself anymore.
I know, but I'm saying I want people to see something like one of his masterpieces, either that he has or is working on. Because I know is that the Jedi Killer right there from?
I'll show you the one that I like a lot. This one is made by my friend Mike, and it was a Saber of the Year in 2017. Let me switch my camera here. Maybe this.
That was on FX forums, right?
Yeah. So my friend Mike, who's DC. Darth Chasm DC Saberhood. Let me make my screen bigger. He made for me,
amazing.
Which is got every bit of it's really, really nice. So even the pommel, it's got this nice copper screen in it. It's got like 3 or 5 or 7 parts that he made that from. He did a sort of a speeder bike handle type of idea, where
Like
like
a
a
Karan
Karan horn, but mixed with like
Yeah.
a Kyle Katarn. And you could tell that the emitter is like really special. It's a copper emitter made by the Custom Saber shop, but specifically to Mike's Darth Chasm's
Specification.
design. And then he has
Wow.
a shroud on top of it that's made out of aluminum. And it's a string blade. So right now I have one of my arc blades in it, but he's got a little 1.3 millimeter recharge port and a race port here.
Nice.
And he's got like really smooth brass hat button caps that are really, really nice. Let me show you something else.
Now, is that running the Crystal Focus LS?
Yeah. Harris has seen this one
Beautiful
in
hill.
person
It's
a lot
very
of times.
solid. The whole
This
thing
is like really duelable too. I'm always dueling with this one.
very solid.
Well, I remember seeing that one at the, oh my gosh, yeah. I don't remember seeing the innards, but I remember you brought that to FanFest.
Oh yeah. So this is
And
when
that
I
was like,
first
that was
met
like a
you.
jaw dropper for me. I mean, I was just like,
Let's see.
and the crystal lights up to the color of the blade.
Well, the crystal's supposed to be viridian, like this
Okay.
like sickly green color, because that's the blade I'd normally have in it.
Right.
But tonight I have this white blade. It still kind of works, but actually Mike spent a lot of time to get that color like a sickly green, and I think he did a great job. It looks a little yellowy here tonight, but and then this bit is all brass, and
That
he's
is
got
awesome.
etching and like
Wow.
acid work, and then this cover holds the crystal focus, and then he's got
Nice.
some accent LEDs in there as well, and it sounds good because of this like 2-watt bass speaker that he
Sweet.
built for me. And everyone liked the design so much, which was totally his design, that they voted this Saber of the Year on I'm trying to think of was it not the Custom Saber shop, I don't think, but
Was it Saber Forum? Like one
Rebel
of the
Armory, maybe it was
Rebel
voted
Armory,
Saber of the Year, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And I think he had entered it, and then he was building it for me. He entered it, and then he delivered it to me like a short time later. And it's just I've been playing with it ever since and building different blades for it. I use this as like a tester for string blades while I was still making a lot of string blades. Really, really solid, but it is heavy. Like the other day, I was out there in Florida swinging it around, and for like a while, like trying to get these drone shots, and after a while my arm got tired, believe it or not, because it's like I had another hilt there that was lighter, and that one I could keep going, but this one was so heavy that you could tell how weak my forearm was when I was doing it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that Saber. I remember you showed up with 2 of them at the FanFest. You had that one.
I think maybe my Qui-Gon.
Yeah, you had.
I like my Qui-Gon so much that's also got the same system in there, and I built like a green blade. It's a green LED blade inside a photon green tube, so it looks like this is like normally what like a photon color looks like.
Right.
It's kind of weird green, but that with the green LEDs inside of this type of tube ends up looking just like very Luke Skywalker green, I think. Very,
Nice.
very Qui-Gon.
That's awesome. Yeah, I remember that blade. I mean that Saber too, because you had your cloak on and your Vader shirt, and your the 2 sabers, and people were just like the kids. I remember people coming up to you just like, they were just like, it was so bright in broad daylight. I mean, they were like amazed that this because usually you can't get the full effect even with neopixel unless it's like dusk or a little bit darker out in certain areas. I mean, now with technology, when you're swinging that blade out in the middle of the sand and stuff like that, and that was like right. When was that? Was that early morning or was that kind of close to dusk?
That was like the sun was going down. Yeah.
Okay, so But even so, it was so bright. Like I'm sure you're like helicopters and stuff could say it, you know, with the drones and stuff. But but people were loving those Saber. I mean, I was just amazed, and that's, that was the time, like, I started talking to you guys about building Saber for me, like when I was talking to Harris, and that's when we started connecting about getting the Saber built for TSL, and about how just getting to know you guys, and I love you. You're my brothers, and I just wish more people were united through Star Wars and Sabers, because there'd be a lot less of this crap that's going on in the world right now if there was just more of this community, like they did for Melissa, like they do for a lot of people out there that I've seen fundraisers. I've seen people, really like, just really build really strong, real, lasting relationships. And, that's what I love about this community. Like I said, it doesn't matter where you come from, social status. It doesn't matter, color. It doesn't matter, any of the gender. It doesn't matter any politics. It's like, dude, do you love Star Wars? Do you love lightsabers? Then you're my boy, or you're my girl, or you're my friend. That's what I love about this community. That's why, I love you guys so much, and we're all at different levels too, because like I was telling you guys before, there's the different sabers. There's the people that are the smiths, the people that create them. They're the people that are the users. The ones that just like are, I got a lightsaber, I use it for cosplay, choreography, I swing it around. Got the collectors, the ones that are like, I have to have the highest end, blasey that does this, that, and the other thing, and make lattes. And then you got the abusers like me that, beat the crap out of them. And then I have to come to you guys and go, can you fix it? Can you make this go? Can you fix it? But it's just so great, because with all that said, I would have never met Jacob. I would have never met you guys. I would have never met David. I would have never met, a lot of these people in the community. And it's just so awesome how we can all be from, different, I guess, aspects of the community, and still all come together as one. And I think that's what the beauty of it is. And I just, it's just, like I said, it's just awesome,
Good stuff.
Agreed. Here. Hail Bill.
And guys, it's past my bedtime.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, but I just wanted to tell you how much of a pleasure, how much it was an honor, how much of a blessing it was for me to just be on with you guys tonight. I know it's not like being in person, but this is the closest thing to, actually get to see you guys, share some stuff, talk about things we love, talk about things that's going on. And hopefully, some of the people out there in the Saber community can watch this video, or, if they're not watching it now, watch it later, and just say, this is what it's about, So, Saber's up, right?
Absolutely. Nerd up. Jeff Birch says nerd up, and Kenneth the Hill says space. Can we make that nerd up graphic into an OLED usable file? That'd be awesome. Yeah, sure. I could email it to you. I could email it to whoever wants that. You could become a member and use that in the live chat. For anybody that's interested in some special emojis and some special perks and stuff, there's going to be some how to build your own Blade videos for members. Harris, you don't got a Blade lit up?
I do that.
I made him get up.
What? You whippersnappers! I got to put a blade in this thing now.
My Saber's Dual Star.
Gonna make me use my own hands. How dare you?
And actually, what I'm going to do is There he is. What I'm going to do is, I got something to show you guys on the way out of here. I got something to show you guys. Here we go.
Oh yeah, here it is.
Okay, so this is for all you guys on the way out. This is a new video that no one's seen yet. This is just some more footage of me on the beach, and you know, I kind of put some kyberphonic special effects to it. So let me actually make this a little bit bigger. Just a little bit bigger, and I'll post this video maybe tomorrow or something like that. I'm not sure. I'm keeping the same song, but I'll just play you guys what I have on the way out. And have a good night, everybody. Thanks for being here. Oh, Jakesoft just turned up. He says, "Well, better late than never." It's Amy Jakesoft. Yeah, we've been talking.
You
for
can
a
watch
while.
what is posted.
You can go back and watch the replay. All Bill's awesome sabers that he's gotten during the lockdown over the last 6 months, and he got a haul. He got a haul and a half. He got a lot of cool sabers. That was really cool to see. So Bill, thank you for showing us your collection, your new collection, because normally if I bought 6 sabers, you know, 4 or 5 sabers in a couple months, I'd get a couple broken ones, you know, that would just be like my luck. But, you know, all yours seem to be in awesome condition. They all work, and they're all really, really cool sabers. But let me hit play on this, and thank you guys for being here.
Well, thanks for having us, brother. Miss you, man. Love you guys.
Love you too. Have a great night. And Bill, I'm glad you did build your own saber too in that lot. That's pretty cool. That's really awesome accomplishment.
I cheated a little bit, but you know, it just goes to show you that
the help is there. You know, if you need that type of harness attached to the soundboard, you don't want to do the soldering, then or you're unable to, then that's an awesome option. I think that's a cool option.
I just wanted to give people out there some hope to think that they could still make their own saber, and be able to customize it and to make it artistically the way they want it without having to worry about being like master solderers and electronic stuff like you guys do. That if you have the vision to do it, you don't need to know how to do the other stuff. And that just, you know, wanted to show some of the saber community out there that don't hinder being a sabersmith stop you from building your own saber or have that vision come to life. Because that was my point of what I wanted to do and then accomplish it. And I really, you know, I'm kind of proud of it. So
that is for me. Proud of it. It looks awesome and it works great. So there you go. All right, guys. Thanks again for doing this. It has been an awesome night. We sabered the moment for sure. Check out this video on the way out.
Saber time, baby.
Saber time.
The weapon of a Jedi.
Then I am a Jedi.